Gonna throw a dart at that dartboard?
Not on this one, but that's a good call. Trussville, Alabama, 15 minutes north of Birmingham, correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Andrew, CrossFit Trussville, owner since 2008 of this affiliate. So you've been around for a very long time. But what I want to know, and I want to start this show off, is tell us about May 7th, 2023, and what happened to change your life, essentially.
Yeah. So we had a fire here, and it was actually a pretty small fire, a lot of smoke. And Candace and I had actually been up here like an hour and a half, 2 hours prior, setting up, getting ready for the week. And then got home, was eating lunch, and somebody called and said, "Hey, the gym's on fire." I was like, "Nah, no, there's a bonfire somewhere, but no." And then I got another phone call, then another phone call, then 20 texts. And we came up here, and we actually, fire department was up here, police department. And had a fire that destroyed the entire building, destroyed everything inside. So
how big was the building at the time?
7,500 square feet, one story.
Was that your location from 2008 and up until that point?
2008, we were in a small little office / garage. We were probably in a 20 by 30 little area, 600 square feet, something like that. Then moved to a 2,000 square foot gym building. And then I ended up buying a foreclosed building, which is the building that burnt down. It was 6,000 square foot. We expanded. We added 1,500 square foot to the back of it. And then that's the one that ended up burning down. And we've been at a church for 2 years since that. So,
and currently, though, this is the new facility, right?
Yes.
Tell us about the new facility.
So this is 2 stories, including our patio is about 13,000 square feet. So we've had, I figured once the fire, I'm a numbers guy. I like thinking years out, and I figured we'd have 50% attrition in the first 6 months, honestly, probably the first 3 months. And we never lost more than 30% of our clients. We're sitting at around 250 members, even working out of a church sanctuary. And we have people that they've actually never worked out in a CrossFit gym. They've been working out in a CrossFit church for 2 years. And we had a couple of them, the mats we did today, we've been working like banshees, but they were just, there's a big A fan above me spinning. They don't know about any of this stuff. So they're losing their minds.
How much floor space did you say? 13,000?
So 13,000 total square footage. Okay. Bottom floor is about 7,500 square feet. So, and it's the good thing about the building being destroyed is, anytime you rent or own a space, I own this building. You kind of have the things that rub you the wrong way. You wish this door was here. You could have a rig over here. And the good thing is, starting from scratch, we could have extremely functional space. So everything is where it should be. And yeah, perfect for barbells and people doing CrossFit.
Did you have the building built to your specs?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So I told the architect, I said, it's a gym first, but I don't want to have the world's best gym building. I want the world's best building that we work out of, because, we may eventually sell it, thinking long term, but it is a pretty dope CrossFit gym, I'll be honest.
I'll have to try to make it out there one day once you're all done with the build out.
Let's
go back to the fire. And so I was also told the next morning at 5 a.m., you continued classes at the church you keep mentioning.
Yes. So Gateway Family Church, out to Gabriel, Mike, and Perry. We were out there while the fire was burning. Everybody was, crying, obviously, and praying and, huddled up and hugging, and we'll get through this. And I was on Amazon buying whiteboards because I didn't know where we were going, but I knew we were going to go somewhere, and everybody's like, we'll go do trail runs and go to the track. I'm like, no, look at me. I'm not going to the track. No chance. So I looked at some spots, and they wanted 5-year leases. And I was like, I can afford lease, but I can't pay for a lease and a building when we inevitably move in. And Pastor Gabriel was like, hey, if you need a space, let me know. And I was like, nah, we're good. And then I called him back at 6, 7. I said, dude, if you're serious, let me know. And he said, come on. So we went over that night, moved out all the church chairs in the sanctuary. And then I contacted a gym that failed, not a CrossFit gym, but a gym one city over, and bought all of their equipment, their rig, their Big A fan that's spinning. I bought all their stuff. And by 9 a.m., we had an entire functional gym working, and we never missed a class. We had our 5 a.m. We just texted everybody like, hey, this is our new location. And we started rocking and rolling, never missed anything.
That's amazing. That's such a cool story. Did you, how many square feet did you have there? How much did you have to work with?
Oh gosh. So it's like a 60 by 6, probably 60 by 60 room, but there's a pulpit, there's a sound booth, there were offices. So functionally, I would say probably 15 to 2,000, dude, maybe even less. It's brutal. And we run 2 classes at a time for 8 classes a day. And I think we have like 11 classes total. So we have 2 coaches coaching 2 classes in the same small space for 2 years. So now our coaches are beside themselves and how easy this is going to be now.
That's so basically since that day up until even now, you're still doing those classes, correct?
Oh yeah. Yeah. They're over there right now.
When does this gym officially start kicking off with classes?
The next 2 weeks. So we'll be rocking and rolling. And we've got, the cool thing too is, so before it was just us. I already told you I own the building. We were the only tenant, CrossFit Trussville, rocking and rolling. But now we'll have Ironclad Wrestling. There'll be a tenant. We have the Dojang Martial Arts. There'll be a tenant. We have Lions Pride Jiu-Jitsu. We have Resilient Physical Therapy, and we have an actual church. So that's probably the coolest out of them all, because we're using a church, we're renting to them, and now we're coming back over here, and now a church that's outgrown their space can use our space on Sundays.
Oh, that's really cool. And what will they do? Just do it there on the floor?
Yes, they are. They'll cover the rig with pipe and drape. And then in the lease, I actually put, you can't ask me to set up and tear down. I literally put that in there. Like, I am not coming back and moving chairs. I'm not doing any of that. So they'll be doing what we're currently doing. But they'll have, 3 or 4 times the space that they currently have.
So if you've been an affiliate since 2008, you've been around for a very long time. How did you personally get into CrossFit? Yeah, you're an OG. How did you get into CrossFit?
I got into CrossFit because I was Googling at that time. Google wasn't even around. I was like togo.com, like super old school. But I was trying to find the hardest thing to do, because I felt like I was just wasting my time working out for 3 hours a day, doing back and bis, chest and tris. And I was like, I'm out of breath going upstairs, even though I'm exercising all the time. There's got to be something better. And then I was doing
what year was this?
2000. This was like 2008.
Okay.
I was overweight my entire life as a kid. I quit every sport because I couldn't run. I got picked on, made fun of. And then in 2006, I started exercising because I wanted to go on a date as an 18-year-old, and found out I was pretty athletic and pretty good at sports once I lost weight. But my buddy, I was doing like the Russian plate hockey workout from the 80s. And I was like, this is the hardest thing in the world. And he's like, no, there's something harder. And I was like, no, there's not. And he's like, go to CrossFit.com. And I was like, And he's like, just do the workout of the day. And I don't know who was writing the workouts back then, but my first day was Fran. Just so happened. Fran, 21-15-9, thrusters and pull-ups. And I was like, this isn't a workout. And it took me 19 minutes.
Damn.
Which I got down to 1:59 a few years ago. But it took me 18 minutes and 42 minutes. And I wasn't convinced. And he's like, do one more day. One more. So I did the next day, and CrossFit.com programmed Murph. And it took me 3.5 hours. The YMCA was closing. Their lights are going off.
Man.
And I was just shuttling through the YMCA going, please, I have to finish this workout. And from then on, I was hooked. I absolutely fell in love with it.
That's amazing.
Yep.
What's your Murph time now?
Dude, I don't do it anymore because I feel like I've done it, every Memorial Day and every time it's pro. I feel like I've done it 100 times, but I think like right at 30 minutes, something like that is my fastest.
You're pretty fit.
Yeah, I was fit for a while.
I've seen you around at event. You've been to regionals and stuff, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you ever go to the games? We should be resumed. Okay, we're back.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, my camera timed out. But yeah, I went to regionals in 2012.
Okay.
And I've competed since then. I did Wadapalooza and Crush Games. Got to compete with Rich Froning and Scott Panchek and all those guys. Never went to the games, but always wanted to. But I think not an excuse at all, but my body type, I'm a little too big. Now, if the Open programmed any one rep max,
How big are you?
When I was competing, 235, 240.
Okay.
Right now, I'm probably
you're
250.
big. Damn.
Yeah.
How tall are you?
5'11", 6 foot.
Okay. So you're a powerhouse.
So I'm a powerhouse. Yeah, I think my heaviest snatch was 300, clean and jerk 400.
Damn.
But never got that in the Open.
No, it's rare that unless we're back to the 5-week Open. I think it's pretty unlikely that we'll see those 1 rep maxes in a 3-week Open.
Right.
It's a little,
which is cool. I'm totally fine with it. But
did you have a lot of people? Did you guys do the Open in the church?
We did. Yeah, we absolutely did. We actually did a live stream all 3 weeks. So my tech guy, James, back here, he's a rock star setting all this up. But we did a live stream. We had what's his name? What's the guy that no reps people? What's his name?
Adrian.
Who?
Adrian Bosman or Hiller?
No, Hiller. He came on. And everybody was like, cool, this guy's name is Andrew Hiller. He's in the chat with all his followers. I was like, oh, crap. We're dead. And he was supporting. He was like, I love all of it. This is great. But we had, I think we had 130 people, 132 or 133 registered for the Open or for Friday Night Lights this year. Yep. So we actually had more registered this year than we did previously. So
are you guys sorry, go ahead. You're saying something about your community?
I was just going to say our community, never back down. Increase in registration, even with 30, 40 less members. And we had, so 2024, we actually had Mike Pender qualify for the 70-plus Masters. And he went to the games here in Birmingham, which was really cool.
Did you go to that event?
Yeah, I coached him the whole time. Okay. It was fun, man.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
You look at some of the old dudes, and I'm calling them old. He would appreciate that too. Some of them look like old dudes. Some of them you're like, wait, how old are you? They look like they're 40 years old, and the guy's like, I'm 78. It's like, what the?
Are you guys gonna do the Community Cup? Are you getting excited for that?
Yeah, we really wanted to be in here for the Open. Because this is like we have the overhang up here to shout down at athletes, so much more space, but it obviously didn't work out. But we are definitely going to do the Community Cup and blow it up here.
Great. Yeah. It'll be a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Are you going to the games or anyone from your group going to the games?
Probably not, just because I'll be so busy here. We're going to open and there's going to be stuff to do for 6 months and moving everything around, getting more functional. But yeah, I wish.
What's the community like in your area in terms of other affiliates? Are there other affiliates?
There's one, probably, 5 miles down the road, something like that in Irondale. And there's really not any until Gardendale. So here in Alabama, we're not a big city, so we're a little bit more spread out than the average place, but Yeah.
Did other affiliates after your gym burned down rally to support or to help you?
Yeah, big time. Yep. Sometimes in business you can get hyper competitive and not resent or anything, but it's really common that it's like a dog eat dog world, and that was just not the case. I had every former member, gym owner in the area, people that weren't even, I haven't talked to in years, say, hey, what can I do? We had CrossFit Irondale down the street say, hey, your athletes can come work out here for free. And we actually had some athletes take them up on that offer and work out there for a few months. So that's one thing that I probably learned throughout all of this is my perspective on all this. Apparently the first thing I said as it was burning was, it is what it is. Like, there's really nothing I can do. I can't go stop the fire. I can't reserve the fire, quit it or take a break or say, wait a minute. You just have to keep going. And that philosophy got us through it. But the other thing that I learned is everybody's supportive. They've got your back, even though you don't talk to them every day. They're here. So it was a really encouraging thing, for sure.
That's the power of the community, and the community at its finest, the community at its best is when they're supporting each other and helping people in a situation like yours and giving them support, any kind of support.
Yes. Yeah. And it, honestly, take that one step further is a lot of times. So there's apparently two types of leaders. One is charisma, where it's a lot of words and you can really deceive somebody in talking with a silver tongue. Another one is through your actions. And that was one thing that we found support in, is that everybody around us wasn't just, hey, we're thinking of you. It was, what can we do? And we had 30 people show up to help us move equipment. We had people at the church moving stuff. And obviously, like I said, everybody in the community that isn't even a part of our particular community, but outside, offering their hands through action. So yeah, I know a lot of affiliates talk about community, but it's not a concept,
Absolutely. Programming. I always like talking to about programming with people. Do you program for the gym, or what do you follow, or what do you guys do?
I do program for the gym.
I figured.
I do.
Yeah.
I've tried to go to other programs, but our athletes, they just love what I do. I've tried. I really have. But they like what I do. So
do you just love it? You just enjoy. I mean, you've been doing it almost for 20 years.
Yep. Have you ever heard of the Japanese concept Ikigai?
No.
So it's a Japanese concept. Imagine like 4 circles overlapping. One circle is what you're good at. One is what the world needs. One is what you can get paid for. And one is what you want to do. And your Ikigai, it means reason for being. It's when all 4 circles overlap. And this is my life purpose. I love it. I feel like people need it, obviously. And it pays the bills. So this is my passion. This is my purpose. I'll be doing it forever.
That's a great story. On that, before we close, because you have such a depth of knowledge and a wealth of knowledge, what advice? I mean, you've been doing this since 2008. You've been an affiliate owner for a very long time. And there's, as we enter that age of 15 plus year affiliate owners, a lot sell, a lot move on. What advice do you have to someone who's been around as long as you, from a different perspective? Because arguably some of those gym owners will say they don't need advice, but there's always advice to be garnered from everyone.
Well, I think you actually answered it. You always have to be willing to grow and improve. I mean, I think we're not the only gym that has a slogan, but we use better every day. And if you're getting 1% better every day, who knows where you're going to go? I tell people all the time, just keep moving forward, keep climbing the mountain. If people are keeping up with you, go with those people. And if somebody's higher than you, ask them how they got there. Don't be egotistical enough to ever think that you got it all figured out. Just keep improving and, find out where you can go.
Yep. Great advice. And you're right. The notion of always wanting to learn and always being open to seeing something and taking it from someone or learning something from someone, no matter how far you are in the journey, is so critical and important.
Yep.
Well, Andrew, I appreciate the time and best of luck. Congratulations on the new gym. From what I can see, it looks beautiful. And I know your community must be excited. Sounds like you have an amazing support network throughout the gym and throughout the local community. So good luck. And if you ever need anything, you have my email, hit me up, let me know. And next time I'm in that area, if I'm ever in Birmingham again, I'll try to come out.
Yeah, sounds good, man. I appreciate your time, Dave.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Take it
Bye.
easy. Bye-bye.